Okay, so yes, I do understand that my main gimmick for this channel is the fact that I'm a massive Tim Burton fan and that I tend to hyperfixate on him. But I'm going to go a little bit off topic this Halloween. Nothing too crazy, mind you. It's not like we're going to be switching to the Sound of Music or anything. We're still in the realm of Burton. We're still in the themes of Burton. We still have the spooky vibes, heartfelt stories, macabre imagery. It's all there. And hey, I've even mentioned this guy before on the channel. Burton has adapted another one of this guy's works before in the past, so it's kinda adjacent. It's the Halloween Tree. I want an excuse to talk about the Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. Boom. Mostly just to justify this purchase. And also because it's one of my favorite Halloween specials that has ever come out. And I feel like it doesn't get as much talk. So allow me to go off topic and hyperfixate on this for once. The Halloween Tree started off as a spiteful screenplay in 1962. It was later then turned into a children's book in 1972, and in 1993 it became a made-for-TV special. And yes, it came out in 1993, the same year as Nightmare Before Christmas and Hocus Pocus. In fact, I tend to call these three films the holy trinity of spook, in which you have the Father, Nightmare Before Christmas, the Son, Hocus Pocus, and the Holy Ghost, Halloween Tree. Now, yes, I did mention that the Halloween Tree was birthed from spite. Let me tell you what I mean by that. You see, the reigning king of Halloween specials is the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown's an asshole!
And that is a title that Ray Bradbury feels is unwarranted. And, well, I'm gonna have to agree with him on this one. Yes, I know, hot take. I'm not a fan of It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Now, to be fair, I do love the Blockhead just as much as anyone else. The Christmas special, S tier, amazing. I grew up watching a lot of Charlie Brown back at my Grammy's house in that weird spare room she had off to the side of her living room. I feel oddly nostalgic for the one where they all go to camp one summer, and I'm probably one of the very few people who actually watched Toonrific Tariq's episodes about Charlie Brown.
My sweet babu. What the fuck? Lock your doors!
But the Halloween special, I got gripes with it. It's boring. Sure, the stuff surrounding the Halloween party and the trick-or-treating stuff, that's fine. And it's nice looking. It kind of does like the whole autumnal vibe thing, alright. My problem with it, though, it comes to a screeching halt just for the whole Red Baron bit. And I just find that part so boring. Oh my god. Tell me you had no budget without telling me you had no budget with flashing lights and just moving your cell in a circle. Feels like you could edit that part out completely, and for the most part it will have no bearing on the story, except it just comes up with some contrived reason as to why Snoopy was in the pumpkin patch. And of course, probably the biggest sin is hyping up the Great Pumpkin, bringing up Linus's hopes about the whole thing, only to dash them away, and also by teaching kids there is no Halloween spirit. Christmas is the only thing that's supposed to have spirits. Ugh. You spit on the spirit of Halloween by not having a spirit of Halloween.
They promised that the Great Pumpkin would arrive, and he never did. Well, the night that was on television, my daughters and I ran over and kicked the set. We were very unhappy about promising the Great Pumpkin. It's like shooting Santa Claus as he comes down the chimney, huh?
So Ray came up with the Halloween Tree as kind of a rebuttal for that. And he tried to get it made by animation giant Chuck Jones. But then unfortunately, that first iteration of it kind of fell into production hell. And the can kept getting kicked over and over and over until finally Ray decided to release it as a book in 1972. The book details 8 boys that spend their Halloween night teamed up with Clavis Clavicle Monshroud while they travel through the undiscovered country through the eras of Halloween, not only trying to figure out the origins of Halloween's traditions and their own costumes, but also trying to save the soul of their friend Joe Pipkin. Finally, after years, Halloween Tree did see its debut on television, but this time helmed by Hanna-Barbera. It would air on ABC, and then afterwards it would air periodically on Cartoon Network almost every year as part of their Halloween lineup until Teen Titans Go took over the network. Now, the special differs from the book. The 8 boys are narrowed down to 4, 5 if you count Pip, and then one of the boys who was dressed up as a witch was turned into a girl dressed up as a witch, Jenny. It is still beautifully produced and lovingly directed. Seriously, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen Hanna-Barbera make until Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island came out. Honestly, I believe part of the reason why it looks as good as it does is because, well, Ray actually expressed concerns to the head of Hanna-Barbera at the time, and they basically wanted to show him, no, your special's in good hands with this. I don't blame Ray for having his trepidations, because, at that time, Hanna-Barbera was known for repeat animations and Flintstone type stuff. How can that compare to Chuck Jones? Now, personally, as you can probably guess, this is one of those specials that kind of stuck with me over the years. I actually watched it a lot as a child. My mother was one of those moms that actually would go and record a lot of holiday specials on different VHS tapes. And basically, when it came time to get into the spirit, we would just shove a tape in the VCR. It was part of how we got into the spirit of it. Unfortunately, the Halloween tape that had Halloween Tree on it has long since been gone. I don't know how it got lost. I don't know if it was when the septic tank exploded or when we moved from one house to another. Something happened. But Halloween Tree was on that VHS tape, along with Charlie Brown, and oddly enough, The Last Halloween, also by Hanna-Barbera. Whatever the heck that was. I honestly don't know what made it stick with me all those years. Was it the comforting Ray Bradbury narration?
The town was full of fences to walk on and sidewalks to skate on, and the muted cries and laughter of boys and girls, full of costume dreams and pumpkin spirits, preparing for the greatest night of the year, better than Easter, better than Christmas, Halloween.
That encapsulates the heart of Halloween? Was it the haunting performance of Monshroud by Leonard Nimoy, who is barely recognizable in this voice role?
No thoughts, eh? Oh, I'm wasting my breath. All dressed up for All Hallows Eve, but you don't know why, or what, or even from where.
Was it the gorgeous, melancholic music of John Debney, who has also did the score for another one of the Holy Trinity of Spook, Hocus Pocus? I mean, it was probably a combo of all this. I also think that maybe as a child, myself at the time I watched this, I actually liked the other kids that were on here. Jenny actually was one of my favorites. I actually really liked how resourceful she was in the beginning of the thing. Just like little things in this, like how she used broomsticks onto her bike because she was dressed as a witch. Wally is probably one of the more annoying kids, not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh.
But gosh darn it, when it comes to his era of what he's trying to learn with his costume, gargoyles and stone monsters that are used to protect buildings, that part was so cool in the special when they're building the Cathedral de Notre Dame with their feet running across the catacombs of Paris. It's just so beautiful seeing like the rock animation just fluidly come up like water is coming up from the ocean. It's just, oh my god, I freaking love this. Halloween Tree embraces the spirit of Halloween and enhances upon it. It flaunts Halloween's traditions with pride and showcases that no matter where these traditions come from, where these costumes come from, however Halloween is celebrated, how All Souls Day is celebrated, how any of these autumnal celebrations are celebrated, they all kind of come from the same origin, really. They all kind of come from our own human reaction to change. Whether that be the change in the weather, change in the seasons, change in the crops, and change in state of life. We come up with these weird traditions as means to cope or to understand the change that is happening throughout the year.
And that, children, is Halloween, all rolled up in one. Night and day, summer and winter, life and death. 4,000 years ago, 100 years, or this year. One place or another, the celebrations are all the same.
El Dia de los Muertos. Day of the Dead. Feast of Ghosts. All Hallows Eve. Halloween!
Now, unlike the other two films of my holy trinity of spook, Hocus Pocus and Nightmare Before Christmas, which have seen a big, ginormous boom of popularity over the years, Halloween Tree has kind of fallen by the wayside. It used to air on the regular during Cartoon Network's Halloween marathons, but unfortunately, again, Teen Titans Go took over and, well, yeah. So it's not on TV anymore. Can't find it on streaming. I mean, Tubi used to have it a couple years ago, but hasn't popped up since then. Recently, I found it on the Internet Archive. Oh, but did you know the Internet Archive's down at the moment? Warner Brothers basically put out a DVD out of sheer obligation, and even then, they omitted the Ray Bradbury commentary that was on the Laserdisc. And also that Laserdisc is a pretty penny to find as well, as in it doesn't come up that much on eBay. But you can find the commentary on YouTube, link below. Now, granted, there were whispers of a live-action remake, but that was before COVID. The Warner Brothers before COVID and the Warner Brothers post-COVID, they're two completely different Warner Brothers now. So it would not surprise me if the live-action adaptation of the Halloween Tree is, well, sitting in production hell next to the remake of Little Shop of Horrors. Look, as I've probably been, iterating for the past however long this video is, I love this movie. I really do. And I want to do whatever I can on my little quiet corner of the internet to showcase it. I want more for this. I want re-releases of the book. We had a definitive author's text version of the book come out, but that has since fallen out of print. And anytime you dare look at that on eBay, you're basically looking at 1,000 or more. I want a re-release of that. I want an all-comic version of it. I mean, Something Wicked This Way Come has a comic adaptation. Why not this? At the very frickin' least, air it on television again, or put it on a streaming service, one that I already have, preferably. A couple years ago, Apple tried some pretty interesting bullshit where they were going to pull all airings of Charlie Brown specials and keep them exclusive to their stupid streaming service. Now, granted, public outcry stopped Apple from continuing this course, but they could always try that again. They're one of them stupid conglomeration capitalist dumbass things. They can pull that crap again. So here's the thing, how about instead of relying on Charlie Brown every year, put this on? I also would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that there is a Halloween tree in Disney World. It does have Ray's name on it, has illustrations from the book on a plaque next to it. Ray was very much a fan of Walt, so having the tree there was a really cool thing. He saw it a good bunch of times before he passed away, sadly. So yes, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that too. So, have you seen the Halloween Tree? Have you read the Halloween Tree? Is there another Halloween special that you wish would air on television again? I mean, I know I also wish The Scary Godmother would air again. That's another one that I also really do love. But anyway, sound off below. Feel free to do the obligatory YouTube things, and goodbye. Cue the montage of Wally going, "Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!